Hello?
Down the rabbit hole we go. By now, I'm sure we're all quite familiar with the works of Tim Burton and his strong preference towards the fantastical and whimsical. And though I could harp on and give him praise for being able to create such distinct characters within his cinematic universe, that's not what I'm talking about today. Today, I want to look back at the original Descent into Madness as we revisit Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland, released in 2010, was a supposed sequel to the original story authored by Lewis Carroll. Featuring a 19-year-old Alice Kingsley, the film closely revolves around her union with characters such as the Mad Hatter, the cocky hat tailor who was hooked on tea, Absalom, the abnormally big blue caterpillar with a tobacco addiction, and the Queen of Hearts, a temperamental ruler built like a souvenir store bobblehead. Moving odd characters aside, the tale of Alice follows a pattern seen time and time again. A young protagonist is told she's a hero to a foreign, distant land. This hero is in denial and can believe the tale is true. They finally accept the role and slay the dragon, and boom, happy ending / dance break.
What is he doing?
Utter weapon.
Now, we finally reached the good part. After such an elaborate but rather anticlimactic final battle, you'd expect Alice to maybe stay in Wonderland and continue to live in harmony under the White Queen's reign. On the contrary, the poor girl must have lost her mind, as she crawls back to the sad cold truth of reality. You see, Wonderland is the classic tale of using fantasy and delusion as a form of escapism. Emotionally drained from her father's passing and trying her best to keep her identity intact, amongst others who deny this from her, it's no wonder Alice ran away in the first place. Then, why did she run back? After her tumultuous time in Wonderland, Alice returned changed and steadfast and finally started to speak her mind, and with the story being set in the Victorian era, I'm honestly quite surprised she got as far as to discussing becoming an explorer like her late father. The reason that I dug up the memory of this film, along with a pirated version of it, is because of the similarities I saw between this film and a novel I read recently called Monkey Beach. Let me elaborate. Monkey Beach, as written by Eden Robinson, an author coming from indigenous roots, follows another 19-year-old woman who also finds herself wrapped up in the hands of supernatural forces. Rather than a complete different plane of existence, she experiences countless interactions throughout the novel as she carries on with her daily life, featuring tree spirits and other creatures derived from tales deeply rooted in Haisla folklore and cultural practices. The world surrounding Lisa Marie can be described as nothing less than magical. This does not mean, however, that everything is rainbows and butterflies. Lisa Marie's life contains countless tragedies such as the loss of her uncle and grandmother, her sexual assault, and her dependence on drugs. She could probably meet Absalom and Hattie to talk about their vices, but that's a different story. Overall, Lisa Marie generally loses touch with reality as she becomes enveloped more and more by the traumatic events and the worry she has for her currently lost brother. It all ends with, and I quote, "I am no longer cold. I am so light I could just drift away. Close, very close, ambiguous howls. Not quite human, not quite wolf, but something in between. The howl echoes off the mountains. In the distance, I hear the sound of a speedboat. Chills, every time. From this, we can infer that our protagonist will be safe by the speedboat. But what happens next? These two texts feature women who are very clearly in rough positions. Both use an aspect of fantasy and possible delusion in an attempt to further themselves from the weight these problems impose on their daily life. But one ran straight back to these problems and kicked them away as she sailed towards new ventures. While Alice was wrong, what becomes of Lisa Marie Hall? We can only speculate. Lisa Marie's involvement with these forces was intense and was a more clear threat to her life. Seemingly bringing nothing but pain, who is to say that she continues to descend into the hell that she feels she is in? Will she double down and stop chasing these run-ins, or will she once more try to become empowered by them as she continues living? Needless to say, the events that happened changed the trajectory of her life. And as a supportive reader, I truly hope my girl takes a page from Alice and gets her life set on track to self-improvement and happiness. One's response to trauma is so uniquely their own that comparing the two feels kinda rude. But I hope you can excuse me when I say, my girl Lisa needs a break. The descent into delusion is real, but it is what happens when you finally hit rock bottom that determines the course of your life. With that, I'm signing off, and reminding you that this is all a theory. I'm just kidding. Bye!